Ascendant and Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing a very special reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, so thank you so very much for doing so. And if you're interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, a healing, or a gift card, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. It's listed in the description box below. It's linked in the description box below. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. So we have the Seven of Wands, and then we have the Ace of Swords, angels and spirit guides. We have the Moon, the Queen of Wands, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Six of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, oh, I love that. The Three of Pentacles, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. The Hermit, angels and spirit guides. The Eight of Cups, angels and spirit guides. And we have two, because this seems to be the way things are going. We have Libra and the Hangman. Okay. Fantastic, Leo. We are looking at Neptune going retrograde. Well, okay, so let's back up a bit. Neptune is in retrograde and has been in retrograde since July 4th. But Neptune is going into retrograde into Pisces on October 22nd. This is the end of a 165-year cycle, okay? We are starting a new cycle. It's a very exciting time. You know, we're starting a new cycle. We're ending this old cycle. And what we're going to be seeing here is that this is a time where when Neptune re-enters into Pisces, where we're dissolving the illusions that have kept us from our divine truth. So this is a really big deal. I just am so happy to be bringing it forward and being able to bring these messages forward to you guys. So I'm excited, okay? Here we have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is the energy of like, I need to fight, right? I need to fight. I need to stand my ground. I need to go after this. And during this time, okay, as Neptune moves from Aries into Pisces, and Neptune being in Aries is a big deal, okay? Because Neptune hasn't been retrograde in Aries since the late 1800s. There we go. That's how we say it, the late 1800s. So what we're going to be seeing here, and what we are seeing here, is this sense of knowing what we are fighting for, and a clarity on what we are fighting for. Because when Neptune enters into Aries, okay, it's this sense of Neptune, the planet of the spiritual imagination, spirituality, oneness, divine inspiration, connecting with selfhood, courage, and intuition. And selfhood, courage, and intuition, Leo, are where we're really comfortable. So here we are looking at what we want to develop, how we want to move forward, what we're going after, and what we're dissolving when Neptune enters into Pisces, and when we therefore enter into Pisces, is the fact that Neptune rules Pisces. This is the last time the planet is going to be in its home for quite some time. And again, we're seeing the dissolving of illusions that have kept us from where it is that we want to be. Illusions that weren't our truth to begin with, and battles that we have been fighting that we didn't need to be fighting. And it can lead us feeling a little bit like, you know, kind of like sour grapes, a little bit at times, a little bit like upset. But what we're going to see is that I'm letting go of energy that does not involve me anymore. And as you do so, the challenge is going to be really embracing the voice of what it is that you want. You're letting go of things that aren't your burden to bear, but they're not your battle. And as you're looking at the Ace of Swords, and this is the challenge, it's like, how do I take the gift of my voice, my mind, my power? How do I know what it is that I want? Okay, and instead of getting swept up in somebody else's chaos again. Now, you definitely take this gift, okay? This gift from God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, this gift of knowledge, this gift of ideas, this gift of passion, this gift of insight. And during this time, I mean, I'm sorry, I feel choked up here, getting choked up here, because it is so emotional. It's like you're letting go of this like ache that you have carried, like in your stomach, in your gut, and you're releasing it. and you're looking at things, because here's the moon, right? This is Pisces energy. Time frame of Pisces is February 19th to March 20th. Pisces is where Neptune is going again. So the roots of this time is going back into Pisces and seeing things clearly, seeing what you have been carrying that you don't need to carry anymore. It was a burden from this life, a past life, that is no longer yours, that is no longer needing to be solved. And you're setting yourself free, you're spreading your wings, you're flying forward, you're seeing what it is that you want with more passion, more insight, more understanding, but you're also stepping into the spiritual so much more, which, Leo, that isn't always our thing. Ours is the courage to stand in the spotlight of the sun and to move forward in power and authority. So what you're going to be seeing here is the sense of looking at the heart, looking at what you love, looking at what you want, saying, it's okay to slow things down. It's okay to be more sensitive, to be more calm, to be more connected with things, with the energy around you, but also with like the energy of your body, right? How the celestial cycles affect your body, your soul, yourself. And it brings us then to the Queen of Wands. Now, this is the energy that is leading away. And the Queen of Wands is us, Leo. It is power and authority and determination. The Queen of Wands is representative of us because we're the wands in the minor arcana. So the Queen of Wands is fire, tenacity, determination, focus, insight. And we have claimed that queenship. We have claimed our throne and our power. And we have seen ourselves as powerful in ways that we hadn't before. And as we're embracing that power, as we're embracing that insight, we've claimed that throne. So we don't need to be, right there claiming, like making that point anymore. We've claimed the throne. We're moving forward in our passion. We're moving forward in our fire. We're moving forward in what we want. And there's a sense that we have claimed a bit of magic, a bit of hope, a bit of connection, a bit of a bigger picture of what it is that we wanted. And we're taking that magic, we're taking that hope, and we're bringing it forward. It leads us then to the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles is the strength during this time, is things being put back into balance. And you're going to see that you are getting help with things being put back into balance. A sense of somebody wiser, somebody older, somebody with more of an understanding, kind of guiding things. But also the sense of, what do I need? What am I looking for? What is the balance for me? And, there has been this sense of like, I've had my hand out. And during this time, and during, Neptune entering into Pisces, what we see is, again, the dissolving of illusions, that the energy almost of somebody's going to save me. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean that you are the hero of your story. You are the power and the force in your being here. And the greatest act is for this girl to put out her hand and say, yes. Yes, I would like that information. Yes, I would like that balance. Yes, I would like that prosperity. And then the boy will put out his hand and ask for the same. What you're going to see here is your strength is going to be taking the power that comes your way. And that power is going to come in a form of somebody kind of like, they're balancing the scales. They're balancing things out. And as it is done, okay, as the harmony is done, and this is going to be somebody more earth sign, but very practical about it. It's kind of like, oh, this was owed. This needs to be it. And they're not going to see themselves as like, I'm giving out a helping hand or anything like that. They're like, oh no, this is just what's fair. This is just what's right. And it brings you then to your near future, which is the Queen of Swords. This is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But this is you taking the challenge of the gift from God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, and claiming your mind, claiming your voice, claiming yourself. And as you claim your voice and your power, as you claim what it is that you want, and as you say to yourself, this is what I desire, what you're going to see is that you're dissolving illusions, you're dissolving heartbreaks, you're dissolving pains that have been around you, and you set yourself free. Now, you can also have a very strong link to a air sign energy that helps bring clarity into your life. But there is also the sense of an embrace of your voice and an embrace of your mind, of what it is that you've been looking for, where it is that you want to be as you cut through doubts, fears, negativities, hurts, and pains. The Queen of Swords, okay, she holds a weapon. You have the two queens that hold weapons here. The weapon of the wands is the weapon. I mean, I don't mean to say this rudely, but wands were of the working class, right? You could say peasants back in the day. Swords were of nobility. So you took the wand But the wand is also, if you're learning with weapons, right? A wand is a broom. A wand is a mop. A wand is a baseball bat. Like, it can be anything that you can use to defend yourself. So it's very versatile. What you're going to see here with the Queen of Wands is that you stepped into a power, and you're stepping out of that cycle of claiming your magic, claiming your fire, claiming your natural gifts. Like, this is me, this is what I'm really good at, and I'm letting myself shine. With the Queen of Swords, there's a sense of your voice being embraced. Now, these aren't your natural gifts because you're represented by the wands and the minor arcana, but these are the gifts that elevate you, that have you claiming your power, nobility, and determination, have you being more focused, more driven, more insightful to where it is that you want to be. And here she has chainmail, over her head and neck. You're protecting your mind. You're protecting your neck, your way of turning your head, your way, also the vulnerability of the neck, and the sense of, I am moving forward in power and insight. I'm cutting through fears and doubts that have held me back. The Queen of Swords is also the most masculine of all the queens. So she's not always understood, and people can want you to fit into this box or that box. You're fitting into your own box, or maybe you don't even want a box at all. And that's perfectly fine, because you embrace your voice, your power, your determination, and your focus. And as you do so, the Three of Pentacles comes into play. And the Three of Pentacles is working very hard, but very detail-oriented work. You're not going to be relying a lot on others. Actually, it would be very prudent during this time to really kind of trust everyone but brand your kettle. Like, really hunker down and rely on your talents, your abilities, and yourself to fortify things and move things forward. You're going to be getting messages through your dreams, which are going to be very insightful, very powerful, very, awe-opening to you. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't think of that. There is prosperity coming ahead. Mind your money. This is going to be a fantastic time to save. Okay, to save, to mind your money, to look at what it is that you're spending or why it is that you're spending. And that's going to be really important here. So making sure that also you're getting fair pay for your work. This is my minor arcana justice card. You have justice here as well, with balance and insight coming in. So what you're going to see is that it's detail-oriented work. It's going to be a time where you're really looking at kind of like the smaller things that others would overlook. And you're very passionate, you're very driven, but you need the quiet, you need the solitude. And Leo, you don't always need the solitude, but we move now into the environment, and it's the Hermit. Hermit is Virgo energy. So if you're born on the cusp with Virgo, if you have Virgo in your life, that comes through very powerfully. And Virgo is August 23rd to September 22nd. And you're going to see passion illuminate. You're going to see fire, insight, what it is that you want, illuminating the darkness. You're shedding a skin, but you're also embracing a flexibility of mind, of spirit. It's not going to be all one way. Fire sign energy can get a little bit rigid, right? It can get a little bit like a wand. It doesn't bend, right? Unless you're making, of course, what is it? Willow crowns? I used to make those at recess when I was a little girl. But here, what you're going to see is that you're turning inward to what it is that you want. And you're letting yourself, you're breaking down old rigidities, old ways of, it had to be like this. It just has to be. And now you're like, why? Why does it have to be? You're entering into dreams. You're entering into what it is that you desire. But again, what you're looking at here is you're letting go of other stories, or even your interpretation of what your soul wanted that was like putting it together from what you knew, from what you learned, instead of saying, but this is what I want. Now you're going to become much more clear on what it is that you want, what it is that you're going after, and what it is that you're looking for. But you are going to need silence. You are going to need time to, kind of like center yourself, breathe in, turn inward. That's going to be very important. It brings you then to your hopes and fears. Leo, one of the hopes is to be able to go on the adventure that you really want to. The fear is that you've walked away from things too soon, or you didn't walk away soon enough. And for one reason or another, it ruined the game, right? You're not going to be able to get what it is that you want. Let that fear go. It might not be the way that you envisioned. It might not be what you had expected. But Spirit is taking the reins. Divinity is guiding you forward. The way that you move forward now, trust in the adventure. Trust in the joy of your heart coming forward. And taking the dreams, with Neptune going into Aries on the 10th of November, okay, or around that time, what you're going to see is that you're embracing your dreams and your passions again. You're starting a 14-year cycle. And this is where you're walking away from what's done and over. And as you do so, it brings us to the outcome of justice, of balance, and of seeing things differently. Do not get mad at yourself because you see it differently. Justice, insight, balance, understanding. You're cutting through doubts and fears and negativity. Libra energy comes into play. Time frame September 23rd to October 22nd, the very day that this cycle starts, that Neptune goes into retrograde in Pisces, the end of Libra time frame. And what you're going to see is that it brings balance. It brings balance and it brings an awakening. It can be painful because the hangman, in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, now here he's hanging from a bowl from the ceiling or a light from the ceiling. So that's not comfortable. But in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it's a person hung upside down from a tree, which is also not comfortable. It's wisdom that is uncomfortable to go through. It's when you're going through an awakening, okay? It's never easy. Nobody ever goes, oh, I went through an awakening. It was so much fun. It's usually like, it always reminds me of the song, when you're going through hell, keep on going, right? That's what it is. And here, it's not saying that you're going to go through hell, but you're looking at things quite differently. And you have to keep on moving forward and stop doubting yourself, because the justice and the harmony that is coming in is for you. It's centering things and balancing things for you. As you move forward in that balance, excuse me, let me get a sip of water. As you move forward in that balance, as you move forward in that understanding, doors start to open. And what you're going to see is that they call to you. Like somebody might be saying like, hey, Leo, come this way. But also like they tell the story that needs to be told, or they connect with you in a way of words, stories, mind, the passion, the fire, the like unbelievable light, right? That isn't going to be as prevalent. It's going to be the stories. It's going to be the ideas. That's opening up doors to you. That is moving you forward in an extraordinary way. It moves us then to your spirit message. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. This is devoted. This is devoted. What are you devoted to? What does your soul long for and love? What is it that you absolutely dream about? Because here, your soul's devotion is coming forward. It's letting go of other people's narratives, other people's, oh, you can't do this, oh, not that. And it's you stepping into your power and your authority of self. And it's really embracing the devotion of your soul. It's embracing a quieter, more powerful life than the one that we always see people talking about. The one that's like, oh, look at me, look at me. It moves us then to the chakra energy, angels and spirit guides of peace. The chakra energy of peace, you're crowned with peace, harmony, connection. The crown chakra is saying move forward in peace. Move forward in quiet understanding. It's not for everybody else. It is simply for you, Leo. It brings us then to the energy to be mindful of, angels and spirit guides. The Three of Pentacles. Here your Three of Pentacles is working by yourself. It's the creation of a blanket. It's the work that you do. Three of Pentacles here, be mindful of everybody else wanting to take credit for your hard work, or everybody else, like you worked so hard, and everybody else saying, oh, look what I did. So just be mindful about that during this time. This isn't the best time for like team efforts. If you have to work in a team, you'll do great. So don't be like afraid about that. If you have to work with a group of people, you will do great. But you really need to be focused on your task, on what it is that you need to bring forward, and really have that come first. And then, other people doing their job, that's going to be kind of a little bit more on them, but it's also going to be important, especially if you're like leading the group or something like that. You don't want them to flounder, but you really need to look at what you need to do and pull that forward. That's going to be a really important thing. I got so emotional here with this reading because it's like you're set free from this place where it felt like it was one battle after another, and you're tired, Leo. You're tired of that nonsense. It moves us then to the subconscious spirit message, and that is angelic. Your angels and spirit guides are guiding you. They're moving you forward. They're bringing you towards so much more than you had imagined. But calming, centering, and listening, that's going to be important. It moves us then to the subconscious chakra message, and that is self-mastery. This is the solar plexus chakra. This is listening to your gut. This is listening to your intuition. This is the mastery of self and ideas coming forward. And it brings us then to the energy to be mindful of, and it's the Four of Swords. Be mindful of not honoring your story. Be mindful of also feeling like, I just give up, I'm done. Here it's like you're not resting, you're not taking care of yourself. And there's a sense of defeatism that comes with that, because it's just going to come with exhaustion. So this is a time, Leo, where you kind of need to baby yourself. It's not like, oh, I'm made out of tissue paper, but like, let yourself get 8 to 10 hours of sleep. It might seem absurd, and maybe work doesn't allow it. But what you're going to see is that you need to rest, you need to connect, you need to ground yourself. And maybe kids don't allow it either. It depends on where you are in your journey. But here, taking care of you, going on walks, drinking lemon water, just little things that energize the body, eating one of my favorite foods in the whole entire world, oatmeal, whatever it is that grounds you and stabilizes you and makes you feel grounded and cozy, that's going to be really important. And for those in the Southern Hemisphere where, you might be like, I don't want to feel cozy, it's hot outside, it's letting yourself go with a natural rhythm. When it gets really hot, like letting yourself have a bit of a siesta, like letting yourself rest and connect, that's going to be important here. And moving with the natural rhythm of the world, that's something that's sacred. And that's something that I'm feeling in this reading right now. That rhythm is something you're being very called to, Leo. We're all being very called to that, but I feel it very strongly here right now. It moves us then to the subconscious tarot message, and it's the Knight of Wands. You are moving forward in tenacity and success. Subconsciously, you want action, right? So everything that was just said about slowing it down and moving with the rhythm of the earth, you're going to be like, yeah, listen, that's great. I want to charge forward and I want to go after it. And you're going to be really, really drawn to people who are tenacious and who are determined and who are focused. And that's great. But you don't want to burn up all the energy all at once. You want to go slowly because you're building things up. You're also releasing certain ideas, certain beliefs, certain heartbreaks, certain pains that have been with you for quite some time. Beliefs that no longer fit, words that people said that hurt, that stung, that, made you feel like you just couldn't. And now you're finding your rhythm again, your path, your way forward. And there's just a sense of freedom, and there's such a beautiful sense of accomplishment here. And I love this for you, Leo. All right, Leo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Have a blessed retrograde, and a blessed life always. And happy Halloween. Bye.